I I am usually the type who gets excited because it's evolving every day. That means I need to adopt every day. I kind of want to just go with the flow. That's how I think about it, right? Because even a good day or flower, whatever I build today, would be very outdated a year from now. Previously, when you build something, you can plan for that to exist for 4 years, 5 years. These days, it's like you build something, you need to rebuild that because AI has changed so much in like 3 months, 4 months. The most important part is being open-minded, being able to adopt as quickly as possible is important, both from personal level for me, what AI means, as well as like as a head of AI, as I think through, as I plan different AI features. I'm humble enough to admit that I might have built this whole workflow. Example for me is workflow automation, right? Inheritance and Zappies of the world existed, and they had like a lot of these agentic workflow builders. ChatGPT came and just released one 6 months back. These type of things are going to happen, and you need to adopt yourself as quickly as possible.
So how do you build platforms around this constant changes? I mean, platforms are, as you mentioned earlier, like new feature comes out, you have to go correct your platform, rebuild it, correct the feature. Many industries out there, not just your industry, but many industries, they look for that at least some static environment after you've built something for a few months, a year, etc., because they want to get the benefit out of the investment they did. Now, what we're saying is either we have to change the way we develop applications, we develop platforms and systems to more of an agile way of developing it, meaning it constantly evolve and develops with the new technologies. Because at some point, somebody's going to say, well, listen, I just paid $1 million developing a platform. You telling me I have to pay again in 6 months from now to develop the same platform because we have a new feature? It just stops making economical sense. You know where I'm going?
Yes. Obviously, it's one of the topic I have been having as we prioritize for 2026, right? The way I think about this is like, let's pick up the pieces which is very specific to us and concentrate on it rather than building like this one big agent or like thinking of AI as this one big piece. We will build things that's very specific to e-com industry. We will build things that we know is a pain for e-com industry and automate with AI. If something changes, we will go back and fix it. But the probability of that changing by drastically in a year is less. And then the technologies that are changing are more like orchestration, workflow, how different nodes talk to each other, how multiple people can bring different agents together and make the workflow even more robust for our users. That level is changing a lot. It is going to change over the next year. MCP now is a standard. That means you don't have to build everything. You just need to expose your agent and some other agent can pick you up. And email was an example, right? Flare, I built this entire crazy email sync, parser, everything. But for Good Day, that's not needed because now we can have an email agent that someone has and just piggyback on it to say, give me the attachments. That's it. So I think the part that's going to change a lot, at least what I see in the next year or so, would be more around these orchestration, MCP, A2A agent. And I'm being open-minded that these might change. But as these changes, I am betting on how I can take advantage of them. Zero Shop was an example for me that at the beginning, the way I started is that I was betting on Shopify coming up with Sidekick and Sidekick agent extension. How can I make the dev experience better? And they did come up with it. So I think to a certain extent, you need to look forward and bet on something.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, the thing I see right now is a lot of rush to adopt AI by many companies. And we were talking about it earlier on an earlier podcast recording. And people are not, because they're rushing so fast to deploy that technology, deploy AI technology, a lot of times what happen is they break something because they did not really fully thought it out and they fully, imagined where this is going to go and how is it going to go. So, in your opinion, when companies are trying to scale up to AI driven workflow, what generally breaks down first?